lie so close at hand. Let's take account and raise a glass to our merry bands. The albatross, it sails the waves while iron sallies forth.
I hear these knights are robbing people and looting caravans. Someone ought to do something.
Listen here, give me your ear, the sapphire.
I hear these knights are robbing people and looting caravans. Someone ought to do something.
Fill us with nature's glory and guide us on our path. Dance free with exultation, a fear.
I have a lot of studying to finish. I suppose of all the places in Tamriel, this isn't a bad place to do it. It could almost be a vacation.
Blue skies alight with sunfire, bound into blessings three. Blessings of Ephraim, blessings of Ephraim, blessings of Ephraim. Settle deep within you, a blessing from the stone. Lead wisely into changes, let waters bless your home. Life's answers, seek your questions, sky's blessing as you roam. Let nature lead you onward, dreams upon you sown.
Maybe I can work the kitchen instead.
Blessings of Ephraim, blessings of Ephraim, blessings of Ephraim.
Hail, friend. Have you heard about the band of robber knights that waylaid travelers on the road to Gonfalon Bay? I came to High Isle to trade, but getting goods from the interior has become a roll of the dice. A rogue band that calls itself the Ascendant Order. I thought they were only active on the mainland, but they're here on High Isle. Rabble-rousers and troublemakers, if you ask me. And now, I hear they're looting caravans outside the city walls. Not specifically, but I saw some fancy-pants nobles giving the dockmaster grief. Missing ships could mean anything. Storms, pirates, poor winds, worthless navigators. Try Sergeant Dane over there. He's with the Sisters Guard and knows a lot. If I'm going to be ruined, I don't have to be sober when it happens. When are the nobles going to do something about those damn rogue knights?
I'm off duty, newcomer. Got a complaint? Take it to one of the other guards. We police High Isle. Ships that haven't arrived yet aren't our problem. Besides, we've got our hands full with these so-called Ascendant Order Knights. They're stirring up trouble all across the island. Just that they're little more than well-armed bandits. They've been recruiting the poor to bolster their numbers. Now they're robbing caravans while claiming they fight for justice. Honest folk don't hide their faces behind helmets and masks. They're malcontents. They go on about how the high and mighty misuse their power by squabbling over the Ruby Throne. It started out small enough, defying authority, inciting riots, petty sabotage. But now they're hurting people. Something else, newcomer? I'd like to get back to my drink.
A confident maid went upon the lea to where sunny flowers.
Good. You found my field office. I thought I'd keep an eye on the lock while awaiting your report. My own investigations have turned up little about our missing ships. Tell me, did you uncover anything useful? Did the lighthouse keeper spot them? Darken the beacon? The locals revere that light. Who would dare offend Kinrith in such a way? Something is indeed wrong here. At least our missing ships reached these waters, but this storm worries me. Tell me more about the Rogue Knights. The Ascendant Order? Here? I heard rumors of knights troubling folk outside of town, but I had no idea they were the culprits. I've had dealings with the Order before. This doesn't bode well. Tell me, did you learn anything at the Shallows? It seems the Ascendant Order knew the ships would be wrecked, and they helped make sure by extinguishing the lighthouse beacon. They knew my cargo was coming to High Isle. This means the Fighters Guild and Mages Guild delegates are in danger too. Ah, you caught that, did you? My missing cargo is more delegates for the conference. Perhaps the most important ones. But I need you to check on the guild delegates right now. They went to visit a druid named Ravana. Her hut lies to the west. The Ascendant Order models itself after other knightly orders, but they're nothing but terrorists. They claim to stand against those who would subjugate the nations of Tamriel under Imperial rule, but I suspect they plan to take power for themselves. They are well-funded and have a strong presence on the mainland. They proclaim a powerful message about greedy rulers and costly wars, but it's mostly rhetoric. Not that the common folk see that. Our conference makes a tempting target, I'm sure. Valesia of the Mages Guild is a dear friend. We shared a few adventures when she was starting out, and I called upon her when I needed help with the conference. She enchanted the invitation medallions the delegates require to attend the conference. I only met Guild General Quentin when he arrived. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders, but the war has cost him dearly. He lost his wife in a raid. I understand why the Fighters Guild chose to send him to the conference.
Greetings, traveler. Is there something I can do for you? Do you need a poultice or perhaps an herbal tea? Ah, yes. The curious mage and the stern warrior. They stopped by. When I mentioned that rogue knights had been making the countryside dangerous, they decided to investigate. I told them where I'd last seen the knights, and they set out at once. A clearing to the southwest. I'll mark the spot on your map. I saw a band of the knights gathering there the last time I went out to gather herbs. They forced me to retreat without them. I warned Valencia and Quentin it might be dangerous. Oh, you'll find druids throughout the Sisters Archipelago. Not too many on the mainland, though. Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived. Our forebears among the Bretons believed civilization should live alongside nature, not tame it. In the early years of the Direni hegemony, they struggled for the soul of High Rock. They lost. Driven into exile, the Druids left to seek a place where they could live according to their beliefs. Their wanderings brought them to the Sisters. The followers of the Weird remained behind. They walked a different path than the Druids. We follow the old ways. Some call us priests of Ifre, but that is only part of our truth. We are children of the land, like the Weird, guides and teachers to those who live in harmony with nature. People were not meant to bow before crowns of metal. Our people, the Breton people, went astray when they forgot the ways of nature. Stone walls and empty titles separate folk from the true way. We help them remember what their ancestors once knew. Some circles see it differently, of course. Circles are fellowships of like-minded druids. Each interprets Ifre's will differently, but druids of the same circle share common traditions and goals. I belong to the Stonelore Circle. We seek to teach others by the example of our work. Yes, travel far enough in the archipelago and you may meet druids of the Eldertide or Firesong circles. Although the Firesong rarely leave their island, and you should be wary of the Eldertide. They do not like city folk or mainlanders. Oh, you'll find druids throughout the Sisters Archipelago. Not too many on the mainland, though. Long ago, we druids left Tamriel and its troubles behind us. But here, our ancient ways survived.
I could use some help. You're the one Lady Arabelle spoke to at the docks, aren't you? You volunteered to help investigate the ships that failed to reach port. It's good to see a friendly face, especially after what just happened. Guild General Quentin accompanied me to visit Druid Ravana. When she told us about rogue knights in the area, Quentin was eager to investigate. It was the Ascendant Order. They overpowered Quentin and knocked me senseless. They captured Quentin. I don't think so. The Ascendant Order was definitely trying to take us alive. That's the only reason I had the opportunity to throw up a shroud spell and avoid being captured myself. Did you come out here to find us? And Ravana told you where to find us. Good. Now, we must rescue Quentin. I may have a way to find where the Ascendant Order took him, but we should get to safety first. Meet me back at Druid Ravana's hut. No. We came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan. But I assume they recognized us or decided our station warranted capture rather than elimination. But you came with a warning, didn't you? What did you find out? Wrecked the ships? How in oblivion could they coordinate such a thing? Clearly, the Ascendant Order is aware of the plans for Lord Bakaro's conference. They're here in force and causing more trouble than we anticipated. If they recognized us as delegates, there's all sorts of ways they could hold that over the conference. If they just assume we're rich nobles, ransom is always an option. But who can really say what those helmeted bastards are thinking? Lady Arabelle and I had dealt with them on the mainland. The Order tried to stop the conference by striking at delegates before they even left Tamriel. We stopped them, but not before the previous guild delegate was killed. Then they appointed me. I came to talk to Ravana about arcane and related topics, and Quentin decided to tag along. When Ravana told us about rogue knights, I feared it might be the Ascendant Order. Quentin wanted to investigate. Turned out I was right. No. We came upon them just as they were finishing an attack on a caravan. But I assume they recognized us or decided our station warranted capture rather than elimination. But you came with a warning, didn't you? What did you find out? Wrecked the ships?
I understand, Valencia. Do what you must to find your friend.
I owe you a debt of gratitude for coming to my aid. It seems once again that Lady Arabelle chose well. Now to see if I can find Guild General Quentin, and by extension, the rogue knights who carried him away. I enchanted the invitation medallions that each delegate carries, so I can trace my own magic to locate Quentin. Now let me see. They moved north and east, across the loch. I see a chapel, crypts, maybe abandoned? No question. Quentin is there. Lady Arabelle asked me to try as soon as we realized the ships were late. I wasn't able to make a connection with those medallions. Maybe they were too far away, or some other magic interfered with my scrying, but I wasn't able to detect anything. No, we need to return to Lady Arabelle and share this information. Then we can mount a rescue for Guild General Quentin. I'll meet you at Lady Arabelle's little pavilion. What she calls her field office, I believe.
That sounds like a Bane chapel, but only one medallion is there. Valencia apprised me of the situation. I believe I know the place where she thinks they're holding Quentin. It must be the crypts below a Bane chapel on the northern shore of the loch. Will you accompany us on this rescue mission, my dear? Smashing. This will be like that time I pulled General Gautier out of a Reach stronghold during the border raids of 566. Now that was an adventure. Anyway, it's too bad Valencia couldn't scry the locations of the other missing delegates. I suppose you've earned the truth, and you certainly deserve my complete confidence. The 3 ships carried High King Emmerich, Queen Irene, and Prince Ernskar, son of Yoren the Skald King. I dare say I've misplaced the leaders of Tamriel. I said you deserve the truth. Lord Bacaro invited the Alliance leaders here for peace talks. He hopes to end the Three Banners War. If we find Quentin with the Ascendant Order, we may find our missing royals. Meet me at the chapel north of the loch. We'll rendezvous at a Bane chapel on the north side of the loch. I've already sent an operative ahead to scout the area. Be prepared to defend yourself. The Ascendant Order won't give up Guild General Quentin without a fight. Whatever the situation, I won't abandon Quentin to his fate. Oh, that's good. Let me write that down. Besides, we have to risk it. Both to save Quentin and to see if we can learn anything about the missing Alliance leaders. We know their medallions aren't there, but they could have lost them at sea. Regardless, if the Ascendant Order uses the chapel as a hideout, we may learn something about their plans. Or a clue as to where to search for the Alliance leaders, perhaps. Not a student of politics, my dear. I understand completely. They're the leaders of the Alliances vying for the Ruby Throne. Well, Irene and Emmerich lead two of the Alliances. Ernskar is the son of Yorin the Skald King, who leads the third. You poor dear. You must pay more attention to current events. Queen Irene leads the Aldmeri Dominion, High King Emmerich the Daggerfall Covenant, and Prince Ernskar represents the Ebonheart Pact, the opponents in the aptly named Three Banners War. It's complicated. The Ruby Throne sits vacant, and the Tamrielic Empire lacks an emperor. None of the alliances can stomach the idea that one of the others might win the throne. It's a wonder Bakaru and I got them to agree to these peace talks.